On today's episode of The Happy House,
what we're going to do is we're just going to scale the sweater down a little bit, and we use the t-shirt as a pattern.
Wait, we're going to cut this?
Yes.
make an adorable girl's dress out of a women's sweater in a few simple steps. And we are hosting a wine party that will be the talk of the neighborhood. You won't want to miss it. Stay tuned for The Happy House.
I'm here with Beth Huntington today, author of this amazing book, which is the Refashion Handbook. And she is going to teach us how to make a little girl's dress out of a women's sweater.
Yes.
So like a cute little sweater dress, which is exciting to me. And I mean, a lot of people are intimidated by sewing. And I always think that if you can sew a straight line, you can do just about anything.
You can. You have a basic sewing machine, just straight lines. If you know how to go back and forth, you can pretty much sew anything.
Because you actually don't consider yourself an expert seamstress by any means, right? I mean, so how did you first come about doing this or writing this book?
Well, I just wanted to have some clothes that fit myself and fit me perfectly, because you can't just go in the store and buy anything just right off the rack.
You can't.
No.
Even very expensive things don't always fit you just right.
Right. So just going out and getting some things and altering it just a little bit, and you can have some clothes that fit you perfectly.
All right. So tell me about this project we're going to do today, because it's very intriguing to me. We have this. You have a t-shirt here.
A little girl's t-shirt that fits.
That fits her right now.
Yes.
So this is what we're using as the
pattern.
The pattern.
Yep.
And then this very attractive sweater, which actually is going to be a very darling.
Really cute for a little girl.
Yeah. It's not. I'm not going to wear that.
I wouldn't wear that either.
Okay, perfect. All right. So tell me what we're doing, Beth.
Well, what we're going to do is we're just going to scale the sweater down a little bit, and we use the t-shirt as a pattern. And so all you have to do is just take the t-shirt and lay it out right on top of the sweater, right where you want it, and then line up the shoulders, line up the collar, and just kind of make sure it's right in the middle there. And then fold the sleeves in. So you've got the little archway for the shoulder seams, or for the sleeves. And then you're just going to take your scissors.
Wait, we're going to cut this?
Yes.
I mean, actually, I do cut sweat. I actually mostly cut wool sweaters, which I felt down, but this is not necessarily a wool sweater. This is like an acrylic kind of blend.
But
we can just cut it?
Yes, and people ask me that all the time, Happy. People are always wondering, if you can just cut a sweater, won't it just ravel? And no, it won't ravel right off.
Okay.
Of course, if you washed it without sewing it again, yeah, it probably would. But once you sew the seam, you're okay.
Okay, I'm taking a breath. Take a breath here. Okay, so we're going to cut this.
We're going to cut it, but we're going to cut it about a ½ inch away from the edge of the t-shirt.
Well, to allow for seams.
Yeah, to allow for the seams.
Yep.
And then I'm going to start at the bottom here. And then, are you ready for this? Just take a breath.
I'm actually having a moment. Okay, no, this is good. This is good.
Okay, so we'll just cut it right up. And you could, if you felt a little bit better, and if you were just starting and doing this for the first time, you might want to take your tape measure and mark this. But
we're just sort of doing, I'm actually like that too. I just sort of go. And wait, though, you are actually going in where the sleeve goes in.
Right,
so that's
you'll
important.
make that little curve there for the armhole. And then come around and
you just purchased a sweater at a thrift shop, right?
Yeah, probably for $1. Probably got it for $1 or something.
$1?
Yeah, I've got a really good thrift store where I live, so I have lots of good deals to be had. So just cut up this side.
And when you lay the t-shirt out, it's important to put it probably like right in the middle, so you are capturing the center of the design.
Yes, depending on what you have. So you're going to take the sleeves, you're going to set those aside for later, because you'll be needing those. So when you're finished, you just take that off, and what you have is, it looks like this.
A sweater vest.
Yes, it looks like a little sweater vest now. But so you can see how it has the little curved lines for the armholes.
Okay, so what's the next step?
So now we have to turn it inside out. You just basically put the right sides of the sweater together. And then you can pin it if you want to. I don't usually pin it because
I don't
I'm the
actually
renegade
I know.
seamstress.
Oh, I forgot to say that.
Yeah.
This is the renegade seamstress. I'm actually the renegade everything.
Yeah.
So I love that about you. Okay, so then
So you can pin it, and then you'll sew it up the side, but you'll leave the armholes open for now.
okay, so we're going to actually, you can kind of see where right here is the start of the armhole, and then here is the bottom. We're going to sew a seam up there, just a straight
half
seam.
inch with a half-inch seam allowance.
Straight lines.
Straight line. But
Yes.
I will tell you though, when you start the seam, don't start at the top, start at the bottom, so that the
Yes, right, yes.
so that
Line
it'll
up
be
the
even.
bottom.
Yeah, because if you start at the top, it might stretch a little bit, and you'll have uneven on the bottom. So
Okay.
make sure you do that.
All right.
So, okay, so we'll pin it and we'll sew it.
And we'll get started.
Yeah.
All right, Beth, so we've actually sewn the side seams of our dress, and it was really easy, just 2 straight lines, just like we said.
Yep.
And one thing I want to talk about is a lot of people are really intimidated by sewing machines, and they're actually not that intimidating. I mean, you can go to a big box retailer or like a warehouse and get a sewing machine for $100.
Yeah.
Probably, right?
Really be-
89 to
sure. Yep,
130.
on
That's
sale.
going to do exactly what we're doing
Just
right
basic
here, right now.
sewing machines.
And
yeah.
they come with fantastic instruction manuals.
Yes,
so
they do.
I just want to say that because I think people are intimidated by
They
that.
are, yeah.
Okay, but now we've got this adorable little almost dress.
Inside-out dress,
But we're
yeah.
going to now put the sleeves on.
Yes.
And so what do we do next?
So we cut the sleeves off earlier, and so now what you would do is you would measure whoever you're.
So here's the remainder of
Yep.
our sweater.
Whoever
Okay.
you're making the dress for, you just measure from their shoulder down to how long you want the sleeve, and then you would cut it off. But the one thing you want to make sure and do when you cut it is to leave a little bit of an angle. You're just making a little, I'll show you, I'll lift it up.
For like the shoulder.
Yeah, so it's not a straight line, but you've got the shoulder on there.
So, and then if you are making this for someone who maybe isn't with you, I would go a little long because you can always bunch it up or like cuff it or something.
Yeah,
So,
or it could
okay.
be 3/4 length if
Yeah,
it's too
or
short.
you could go short. Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
But a little girl's arm is not going to be that big, and our opening for our arm is not that big. So
Okay.
what we have to do first is turn this inside out and just make this a little bit smaller by sewing a seam just like right down here and taking off some of that bulk.
All right, let's
So
do that.
we'll do that next.
All right, perfect. Okay, Beth, we've sewn our sleeves, and when we did that, we actually had to cut away a little bit of the extra fabric.
Yes.
And like this is right side out, but yours is inside out. How do we then put sleeves on our cute little dress?
Well, first you want to turn it right side out, and your dress will be inside out still. So when you attach the sleeves to it, you're going to actually put them up inside the dress.
Facing inward.
Yes, facing
Okay.
inward, so that the
It lines up.
it lines up, and the right sides will be together. So the right sides of the
Actually,
sleeve.
that's sometimes the challenge of sewing is kind of figuring out how to line things up. So we've basically put that sleeve in the armhole of the dress, lined it up. We're going to pin it in place, and then I'm guessing we're going to take this part of our sewing machine off so we can do the armhole.
And the one thing you want to make sure and do is get the seam of the two bottom armhole seams lined up and the
Got it.
shoulder seams
So
lined up.
here's a seam. Here's a seam. Line up. Start from there. Is that right?
Yep.
All
Yes,
right.
that's exactly right.
Perfect. Let's get that done.
Okay.
All right, Beth, you have sewn our sleeves in now. And I think a lot of times when people think about making a garment. They are so technical or thinking it has to be exactly right, but we just sort of eyeballed it.
Yes.
And especially with kids, that is just fine. And you sewed the sleeves onto this dress, which when
With a 1/2 inch seam allowance.
with a 1/2 inch seam.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do the big reveal now because
Okay.
I'm very excited about this.
So cute.
I actually have a little girl I have in mind for this
Yeah.
dress. So
Oh,
I'm
she's gonna
excited
love
about it. I know.
There it is.
Look at that. We have actually been working on this for less than 30 minutes. And how much did you pay for the sweater?
Probably $1.
So $1 in 30 minutes, a beautiful little sweater dress.
Our little model is all smiles in her new sweater dress. We made it in just a few easy steps with a sweater we picked up from a thrift store.
Thank you so much. I
Thank
can't wait to do more
you.
projects with you.
It's been so fun. Thanks for having me.
To learn more about Beth and the project we made today and her book, which is the Refashion Handbook, visit our website.
Stay tuned. Peggy and I are prepping a wine party for our best friends. From invites to food to table decor, it's easy and fun. You won't want to miss it.
My friend Peggy and I are planning a wine party for our girlfriends. And Peggy's done this before. It's my first time. So she is going to show me the way. And it all starts with the invitation, really.
That's right.
Okay?
Let's start there. It can be as simple or as elaborate as you want. I just kind of had fun with it, but I just used like plain white paper in my printer. And I stained little wine stains on it. I just typed, we're having a party, and I explained what the drill is for people coming and bringing a wine, which I'll tell you about in a second.
What did you use for this
Well,
wine?
I started with wine, and it was a little bit, not what I was looking for, it was a little bit faded and light colored, and so I added jam to the wine,
Yeah.
and ramped it up a little bit. And like,
This is adorable.
Thank
so,
you.
And it tells everybody exactly what to do, which is, what do we do, Peggy?
well, everybody brings a bottle of wine. You set some criteria and you like a price limit, and everybody brings a bottle of wine, whether it's white or red. We like to drink white together, and do a price cap. And
And we did ours at $25 because it doesn't, actually some of the best wines are just right
I
around
was
$10.
going to say, and that's part of the fun is when people vote and choose their favorite wine. Sometimes people pick the most expensive, and sometimes people think the cheapest one is the most fun. So how do we cover them up? Plain brown bags that you get from your wine store or your liquor
Perfect.
store.
So when everyone comes in, they're going to put their bottle of
them a
wine in
bag.
here and put a number or
Yep.
a symbol on it.
Handwrite. I just had these in my closet, some stickers with number stickers.
Got it.
And we'll tie some ribbon on when our guests get here.
Because we're all about the presentation. I love ribbon too.
So then we'll line up all the wines, and it's called a blind tasting, and we'll give everybody a glass, and we'll say, okay, we're drinking number one, take a sip, and secret weapon,
Sharpies. Those are actually my very favorite thing
I
in the
love
world.
Sharpies, I know.
Yep.
I know.
Okay.
So, and we'll show you in a little bit, I'll show you where we're gonna write with our Sharpies.
So we use these to, well, you'll show me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So awesome. So we've got our Sharpies, we've got our bags, and then how many glasses? I mean, do we need a different glass for every single one we taste, or do we rinse it out? How does this work?
You can lay out, if you're having a small number of people, you can lay out the number of wine glasses, and everybody has like 4 or 5, however many you're drinking in front of you, or you can rinse. I just happen to have these, but you can do it either way.
I think we're going rinsing tonight, right?
Let's rinse.
Okay.
Champagne, we decided while everybody gets here that we're going to serve a little Prosecco.
Because as the guests arrive, they might not all get here at the same time,
Yeah.
and we know these ladies want to have some wine.
And we're not ready to start the tasting yet, so we'll set them up with a little champagne, a little
Perfect.
Prosecco.
Let's
Food.
Take
You
Let's
talk to me about food.
Yes, that's actually one of the highlights of every party, I think, is the food. If we have wine, we of course have to have cheese. And I love to build cheese plates. It's actually one of my very favorite things to do. And I think a lot of times people are wondering, what kind of cheese? What do you put on it? And there's sort of some basic rules to follow. And you should have a hard cheese. And you should also have a soft cheese. Like this is a brie.
Okay.
And then also just a couple of others. These are like semi-hard cheeses. So
Is that Manchego?
It is Manchego. I know, it's my favorite cheese. So these are just a couple of other cheeses we have, but they're a little bit softer than the hard Parmesan I have here. And then in addition to cheeses, you of course have a variety of crackers and breads, things to put the cheeses on. So you should have the cheese, the crackers, and also something salty. We have these almonds here, which are always amazing with cheese. And then I've also purchased a couple of salamis of different sort of strengths or tastes. I mean, some are more intense than the others.
Good idea.
And then in addition to cheese, salamis, and all the salty things, you absolutely need some fruits. So I have purchased a variety of pears, and then we've got some grapes here. And of course, we always need icing on our cake. So I have got here some specialty honey and some fig jam, which is always really great, kind of having the sweet with the cheese. So if you have all of these elements, you are going to have an amazing cheese plate, and your guests are going to be pretty happy.
That's beautiful. Look
I
at
love
all the
it.
colors.
I know. Another thing people don't think about is serving sometimes food that we would consider to be dinner food as an appetizer. So right here, I have an assortment of roasted potatoes, sweet potatoes, and then just some mini kind of specialty potatoes. And I've roasted them and glazed them with honey, and then put these toothpicks in the middle so people can simply choose which potatoes they want to eat to go with their food. So it's nice to have an assortment of cold and hot items, obviously, at the wine tasting. And it's actually important to have food for your guests at something like this.
And water. So you have water there.
Water, yes, of course, water. One thing I want to talk about is a cheat or a hack, as I will call it. So I like to make a lot of my own food from scratch, but I also like to find favorites from my local co-op or my favorite grocery stores. And that is what this is. This is a Gorgonzola cheese ball, and it is amazing. So that actually just kind of completes this whole ensemble. Coming up next, the guests have arrived and the wine party has started. Join us in the festivities. Okay, Peggy, our friends have arrived. We can actually hear them in the other room. And we've actually had everyone, as we discussed earlier, put their wines in these bags. We've mixed them up, and so it's going to be the blind tasting. We're going to open up one wine at a time. Everyone's going to get to have a taste of it. And then what I love is the fact that everyone will be armed with a Sharpie, which we talked about earlier. But we've put brown paper on our table, and people are just going to do what? Like write their name and make notes?
We'll all taste number one. We'll write down, what do we think of it? Did we like it? Did we not like it? Was it sweet? Do we think we know what variety it was? Would we buy it again?
Do we think we even recognize our own wine that
Oh,
we
that
brought?
would be
I mean,
exciting.
it's kind of interesting. So then at the end of the night, we'll sort of rate all of these wines and vote and come up with a winner and
losers. And we have prizes.
Yes, we do
That's
have
really fun.
prizes. So that's actually a really fun idea, is putting together, we got a couple of reusable totes and put in some fun wine items. And
For
just
the winner.
And the loser is going to also get a really amazing gift. But it's just kind of a fun thing and a fun way to end your night. I am
Be great.
excited.
I'm excited. Should we
Let's
call them in?
All right, let's get started.
a ladies only party, but we do have some husbands that came. So buy some beer, let them hang out too, turn on the game, and make it fun for everyone.
I am gonna pour our first glass of wine.
Everyone write their name on the table. Did you write Poopsie? Okay.
Taste
Are you
it,
ready?
sniff it, swirl it,
Is there
sample
any
it.
legs? Where are the legs?
How are the tannins?
Oh, wow. I think I know what this is. I think it's a Chris can agree to.
Okay, but don't let anybody see your comments.
Number
I'm not
one. Is
sure.
this number one?
Number
This
one.
might be the one that I brought.
Really?
Good choice.
Oh,
So write down what we
Yeah,
think
what you
it
think
was.
of it.
Ick. I don't like 3.
Oh my god!
I love it. I'm giving it a 9.
Okay.
What, number 4?
Yeah.
Oh.
Me too.
D.
We have a rosé.
No.
These are 5. Absolutely superb. I'm not sure what this is.
I love Oregon. I love Oregon wines. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
There is an Oregon wine in here, people. Amy has the advantage because she's from Arkansas, so she sounds better than all of us. Everyone's tasted all the wines, and we are now revealing them. We have a prize for the winner, the best wine, and a no thank you prize for the loser.
So happy who had our lowest score.
Unfortunately, Rena, your wine was a loser, but you got a fantastic prize. No thank you. No thank you.
All right, who brought number 6? Because I think number 6 got the highest score.
6 is mine.
I think it's Amy.
Amy brought number 6.
And here is your prize.
Thank you.
Merci beaucoup for bringing us the best wine tonight.
Yay.
This has been a lot of fun. Everyone is learning about new wines, eating some food, and actually the most important thing, talking together. To learn more about the party Peggy and I hosted tonight and other party ideas, visit our website. I love cheese, so I do this all the time. But I don't have my grapes. Sorry.
Grapes.
I love to build cheese plates. Where are my pears? Oh my god! Is this happening to me right now? Okay.
To learn more.
All right.
I'll change angles, it's okay. No, I'm
Okay.
doing this.